Well, it looks like the sun's popped out. I say we go for a ride. All right, the rain is holding off. Let's see if we can get out and go for a ride. I'm gonna head over to Mile High Harley Davidson of Parker, Colorado for Smoke Fest. It's become an annual event where they bring a Harley Davidson stunt crew in and make some smoke. So let's go see if we can enjoy it. I do want to take a moment to thank everybody for watching and the subscribing and all the great comments. I wouldn't expect anything less from the biker community. It's always been such a special thing. No matter where I've been on my bike or stranded or needing help, there's always someone there. And the way to pay it back is to do the same thing. Biker code. Help someone else. Great to have you. This 2018 CVO Road Glide was my first Road Glide. I actually bought it without ever riding a Road Glide. I was coming off a Street Glide, 2014 Project Rushmore Street Glide. I was very used to having the gauges in front of me and everything close. And the first impression when I sat on this is how much space there is. Right? There's a lot of room between you and what's in front of the bike. And I've quickly grown accustomed to it. And I think there's no big advantage over Street Glide or Road Glide from handling or wind or any of that. I don't believe any of that. But I will say this is a much more open experience than the Street Glide. But sometimes you prefer that cockpit feeling, and other times you want the open space. So I think either works. So we're rocking actually a stock exhaust system here. Though I did have the header pipe changed out. So I got myself a header that was decatted from Fullsack in Arizona. And they offered a program where you could send your stock head pipe in, and they would send you one with the cat removed. One of the things they did is they would extend then the two tubes out to the back of the junction point where the pipe splits to go under, the collector point. So they made the pipes longer and claimed that made a performance difference. I can't argue. I certainly didn't lose any performance, but I certainly got rid of all that heat from that catalytic converter hiding under your leg. But other than that, we have the stock mufflers on, and I took I think a 1.5 inch hole saw drill bit, jammed it down the middle of the muffler there, and took out some of that baffle to make a little more noise. But frankly, I've been really happy with it. I've learned to really enjoy having a stereo on the bike since I got my Street Glide, and frankly a little quieter exhaust works well for the music. I want to share a thought that I ran into riding. I rode for many years, self-taught, no real formal training. And when I started watching YouTube, especially the, let's say, younger YouTube audience, they were always doing this thing called rev matching. And I was fascinated by this. I've always just pulled the clutch, slowed down, switched, downshifted, and slowly let it out. I rode that way forever. But then I got this view of rev matching, where you pull the clutch in, twist the throttle, put a little rev in it, and then let the downshift and let the clutch out, kind of all three at the same time. And I thought, well, it's got two purposes, right? First of all, you're matching the revs of the engine with your movement, so you're trying to slow down. You take a little advantage of engine braking, more so than if you weren't rev matching. But you also kind of let out a cool little ripping sound. And as a rider, it quite changed my experience. Much more sporty, exciting feel, but also a little bit of a safety thing. I think it kind of lets people around you know that something's happening. Why is that motorcycle suddenly making a sudden rev? other than just to be annoying, it does bring attention. So I avoid being annoying with it, but boy, I've really changed my riding. It took me quite a while to figure it out after years of doing it without, but one day it clicked. So if you're not doing it, I encourage you to try it, but be patient with yourself. You're going to feel like an idiot for a while because you're going to perk and jerk and maybe even stall the bike, but one day it'll click. I've been riding this way for a good year now, a year plus, and I don't think I could go back. So right now we're in third gear, car's stopping in front of us, we're just coasting. I'm going to pull the clutch and rev the throttle and downshift, just like that. You need way less brake than to stop because you're letting the engine do a lot of the work. Creates a nice sound. Safe way to ride. Using the back brake here, a little clutch, a little throttle. Who's that remind you of? I imagine all of you watching my channel are familiar with Robert Simmons. Outstanding channel. Really appreciate the knowledge he's shared and the skills I've picked up watching him. Outstanding stuff. All right, let's go. Another thing I've learned riding a Milwaukee 8 coming from a twin cam, the Milwaukee 8 really wants to be above 3,000, 3,500 RPM, ideally at 4,000, which is very unnatural for me coming from a twin cam. The Milwaukee 8 needs that RPM, and that gives you access to the power band. I also believe it answers the sumping issue. This bike still has its original oil pump, 2018. Never noticed any sumping issues or oil disappearing. I think part of that is running that RPM higher. It's very unnatural coming from an older bike to a new one, but you do get used to riding that higher rev range. And I think it's absolutely key for this motor. The other key is not to overfill the oil. A twin cam or a Milwaukee 8 really wants to be filled about half. So you don't want to be at the top of the dots when the engine's hot. You want to be a bit below that when it's hot. That also makes a big difference with this motor. You have to remember a lot of oil is flowing around the top of the bike, top of the motor, routing oil around to keep it cool. A lot more expansion in the oil pan. Alright, those are the words of wisdom I have to share for you on this ride. I'm going to close it out here and we'll pick it up at the dealer. Get ready for Smoke Fest. Alright, welcome to Smoke Fest at Mile High Harley Davidson in Parker. Got quite a turnout, as you can see.
Here for Sideways.
Absolutely a great turnout.
What do you guys think about the cat and mouse game?
Let's go around and take a look.
But you're the first loser tonight. Sucks to suck, dog. Are you guys ready to see some more stuff going on? Do a little bit of tandem. Or all these boys is going to be out here getting wild right now. It's going to get crazy. Let's go, boys. Let's see it. Make some noise out there, these boys. pros doing everything. Let's see it. Let's see it. Oh. Let's hear it.